This rain has been a real opportunity for surrender. As you might imagine, I had a whole plan for arrival, and this rain has really made it a little bit different than I was imagining. Oh, that's nice to be on the earth. So let's gather in a little bit more. I have a feeling the rain's gonna hold out for maybe a good 20 minutes or so. So I have been yearning to accomplish something that very few people want to accomplish, which is to own absolutely nothing. It's been a goal of mine for at least 10 years as a practice. You know, it's not that I'm never going to own anything again, but this is a way to really radically experiment with life. And so before the walk began, I got my life down to everything that I own fitting into this backpack. And then that was the start of this walk. So that was the first stage, getting my life down to just what I could walk with. The walk was that vessel that forced me to simplify because I had to be able to push everything. So it created an easy way for me to simplify. And so for the last 1,600 miles, I have been walking with everything that I own, and I've been preparing myself to get to this point where I can arrive here in a state of peace and comfort and balance and be ready to own nothing. Because as most of you would imagine, to own absolutely nothing guarantees some level of discomfort. You know, it guarantees it's going to be a challenge. There's no question about that. So I've been preparing myself for the last many years for this. I've been really living simply and sustainably for quite some time, and I've really demonetized my life. And the fact that today, I feel a little anxiety around saying that, today I will own nothing very shortly, that's a manifestation of what I've done inside of my mind over the last 10 years. So this is just a way for me to practice in a fairly radical way what I've been working towards for over 10 years. Now, some people say, all right, well then, great, you're just a bum. You're just a bum. And then others say, oh, he's a sadhu. He's a wandering sadhu. I just am. In our society, we have this desire to apply labels based on what we've seen. I'm just me. Of course, what I'm doing is by choice. But when you look at the situation with homelessness, a lot of people have this particular stigma or belief of what homelessness is. But when you speak to people who are homeless, you realize they're just like people who live in homes. There's an incredible spectrum of humanity that exists in this state. But we have this tendency to want to label and compartmentalize. It makes things easier for our minds. So it's, am I homeless? Am I a wandering sadhu? Does anyone know what sadhu means? Can anyone say what sadhu means? It's basically, so in the Eastern traditions, it's pretty normal for some people to give away everything and exist in this state with humanity. So some people who have seen that, like a lot of people from India, they're like, oh, okay, he's a sadhu. And then other people here, they've only seen people walking with their stuff down the road who are experiencing homelessness. So they say, oh, he's homeless, he's a bum, or things like that. And so I don't know what, I don't know what I am. I just am. I'm just me. So a lot of what I've shared so far has been about my personal ambitions here, but equally as much, my objective is to be a public experiment. That's what I'll be here in Griffith Park for the next 3 months. With that said, I'm actually doing a 5-week Vipassana as well in the middle of this, where I'll be at the Vipassana Center out in 29 Palms doing checking out from the world in silent meditation. And this is just an experiment in non-ownership, and I invite you all to come back and continue spending time together here, and to invite your friends, and for whoever here in Los Angeles wants to be a part of this. While I'm here, I will be existing in a state of simplicity, and in a state of connection with the earth, and a state of connection with myself and with everyone who's here. One of my main practices in the months ahead will be just that whoever's here, that's all that matters. That whoever is here is the most important people in the world to me. And that's, just deep presence. So I'll be living without owning stuff, and I'll be living without money, but the experiment is, while having nothing, can I actually give more to society than I receive? That's what I want to see. And I believe that the answer is yes. One of the reasons I believe that is because I think the most beautiful gift that we can give today is our presence, our deep presence. You look at what people are experiencing, depression, anxiety, most of the struggles that people have today here in this very Western privileged nation is one, not so much of a lack of material possessions or money, but a lack of peace within our own minds and love for ourselves. And so I feel fully confident that while owning nothing and while having no money, I can give more to society than I receive. And that's the heart of this experiment. I don't need to say it all right now because we will be here and you all can keep coming back. I'll mention my schedule. I'll be right here 6 days a week until April 20th, besides the time I'm in Vipassana. And I'll be here from 2 o'clock to sunset, about 5:30. Every day except Monday, so 6 days a week. And I'm gonna be sharing classes as well as offering for other people that want to share classes as well. And I won't just use the word classes, it's more of just, some of it's just an interbeing and connectedness. But we'll be practicing compassionate communication as a way of deepening connection with one another. I'll be 3 days a week, I will be sharing a talk on different topics of connection and being a part of life here on earth. Once a week 3 days a week we'll do a silent meditation where we'll practice Thich Nhat Hanh's practice of walking as if our feet are kissing the earth. 1 day a week I will do a foraging walk where I can show you the plants that are growing wildly and abundantly here that you can create relationships with and learn how to forage, and not in a way that is just taking, but in a way where you learn how to give. Then I'll also be sharing Vipassana meditation practice, just an introduction to it. And then we'll have community healing circles as well. So whoever comes, whatever we feel like we need as a community, we'll do together to heal together. So I think that right now, with the sunlight that we have, with this moment, I think it's an ideal time for me to give away everything and enter into my experiment of non-ownership. How does that sound to everybody? Your help, though, in order to accomplish this. I need you to take my stuff. If you don't take my stuff, I can't enter into this experiment of non-ownership. So I know some of you are gonna have a challenge with that, leaving me sitting here naked. So I need your support in helping me to get into this state of non-ownership. Without you, I cannot get there, because the only other option is that I leave my stuff here littering, and I don't want to litter, so I need your support.
Could we consider holding it in case you might need it back?
You can consider it, but I will not be
be
involved in that.
Okay.
So that will be your own existence, but I will not. This stuff is out of my life. Now, you can wear it with joy around me, but it is yours, not mine. If anybody has paid any attention, deep attention, you'll know I am not doing this. I'm not trying to figure out what corners can I skip? So everything that I am giving away, I am genuinely giving it away. I no longer own it. And so, yes.
We'll take it.
Yes. So, and I thought that what I'm going to do is I'm going to, as I'm sharing these items, I'm going to share a little bit about how I am going to exist without them as well. So this will give you a little window into the experiment ahead. Let's see. Let's go with water. So for the next 3 months, I will not be carrying a water vessel. This isn't about being an island. This is about creating a radical experiment in community. You're always welcome to have water around, but my objective is I'm going to stay near the water fountain. So this jar has gotten quite a few comments on social media. Apparently some people find some joy in this jar. So would anyone find joy in having this jar? I would. Well, you know, I saw your eyes. I want this to be yours.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad you have it. And this secondary jar goes to you, my friend.
Appreciate it, Robin.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm gonna be fairly quick with this. I have been getting rid of a lot of things over the last about 2 weeks or so. So I've already downsized quite a bit. This is a homemade bag with linen, and within this are a lot of my little bags that I made. This is all dyed with black walnuts. And I have my different herb jars in here. So I would love to give this whole bag to someone with an intention in mind. And that is if there's anybody who is wanting to start to eat less packaged food and start to shop more in the bulk section of stores where you can fill up your own containers and create less waste. That's you?
I do that all.
All right.
Thank
Sweet.
you. Thank you so
Enjoy.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Now this is one of my oldest possessions. How many of you have seen this pot? You raised your hand, so I see your enthusiasm. So this will be for you. So this pot, one of the few possessions that's one of the 44 possessions. When I simplified my life to 44 possessions in 2020, this is one of the few 44 possessions, and one of the things that, boy, well, I won't have, I think the saying, a pot to my name. And so, yes, this is the pot, and this has held a lot of things in it. A lot of things. Yeah. So this is for you, my friend, and this is the pot's bag.
I just lost my reusable container in Stinson Beach, so
Aww.
now I have one. Thank you.
Nice, you're welcome. So that pot is great for cooking. You can also use it as a to-go container if you're going to a restaurant, carry food with you. So, oh, wow. My Leatherman knife. I will not, this is one of, if I had just my 44 possessions, this would be one of them. There are no logos on this. I buzzed all of them off. There's really no logos on almost anything that I have. And so this is an excellent tool. I've used it for fixing the cart and doing all sorts of different things. So is there anybody who could see this adding value to their life, where this is a tool that they would carry with them? Thank you. Thank you for freeing me. The kit that I have used for patching my clothes. See all those patches on there? So these are all the spare patches. This is dyed with a plant called weld, this yellow, black walnut. There's little patches of the leather that I used for making my sandals or my shoes. There's deer sinew in here. And then in here, I have my needles, thread, and some of the little metal things in here, like the thimble, are gifts from my mom. So the essence of my mother is in here. Like this bobbin came from my mom. And so this I'd like to give to somebody who would like to do more patching of their clothes. Is this you perhaps? Okay. Yeah? All right.
I gotta patch this.
You got a patch. Sweet. Thank you.
All right, thank
There
you.
you
I'll take
are.
good care of it. Thank you.
Yes. Here's a very minor thing, but if someone would enjoy this is the spoon that I have eaten from with a lot for the last couple months. Just a very simple spoon. Somebody gave it to me up in, is this you, Kevin? All right, sweet. Someone gave this to me when I lost my spoon in Northern California.
Thank you, Robin.
Yeah, my friend. All right. This is my tea strainer. So all of my medicinal teas over the last few years have been strained through this. I have not pooped in this. So that would make no sense to do that. So is there anybody who wants to start drinking more tea where this can be their reminder and their encouragement? Wonderful.
I'm a little sick too, so it'll be super useful.
Oh,
Thank
sweet.
you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My friend told me about you from Northern California. She was like, I have to come out.
I'm
And
glad you're here. But I do feel a need to keep moving. Okay. All right. So this is a big deal for me. As you can see, I take care of my teeth. And I brush my teeth morning and night. I will not have a toothbrush for the next month. So I'm going to be learning the different trees that have the ideal twigs. There are miswak sticks, for example, that are used in the Middle East. Black gum is a great antimicrobial one. Neem. So there's ancient ways of taking care of the teeth that don't require this, but it is going to be an experiment. And so this is my natural personal hygiene bag. And this has all of my hygiene items in there. This is all I need. And so I would love to give this to somebody who wants to start practicing a more simple, natural personal hygiene, who this can be their motivation to do that.
I love that. My
All right.
my biggest health issue is dental issues, so I love this. Thank you.
Yeah, glad to share it with
Thank you, Robin.
There's all
Yeah.
sorts of little goodies in there.
Awesome.
All right, we're getting there. And, well, this is my nonviolent communication book that I've been carrying with me for the last few years. And within it is what's called the needs and feelings list that is here. And this nonviolent communication is basically a way to make life more wonderful. And I'm going to be practicing that a lot over the next few months. That's at the heart of what I'll be doing for the next few months, is practicing nonviolent communication. And my encouragement is to bring this with you anytime you come here so that we'll be able to use it. All right, sweet. There you are. Thank you. This book is a sweet little book. This is called The Thanksgiving Address. It is from the Haudenosaunee people, and it's a Thanksgiving address that dates back about 1,000 years. It's a simple way of giving greetings to the natural world. And what they do is they give this Thanksgiving address before all meetings. It's so powerful and it's so simple. And yeah, a little hard to let this go. It's been a sweet little book to have with me. So who would love to have this book? Yeah? All right. There you are. Thank you for taking it. Very appreciative. And yes, thank you all for making this so smooth and taking my things. This is going very effectively. This is hard to let go of. This is my little side bag that I carry my stuff in. And yeah, it's just a wonderful little side bag that is handmade, homemade, natural fiber, and naturally dyed. So would this bag bring meaningful? Yeah? All right, can I put it on you?
Sure.
Aw, sweetness. Yeah, thanks for taking it.
We're friends of Forest.
Oh, Friends of Forest, my cousin Forrest. Sweet, I'm glad you're here. Oh, the bowl.
Oh my God.
So this is carved by a friend named Eric, and he gave it to me as a gift up in Washington. And this is made from ash. So would anybody take great joy in this ash bowl? Yeah? All right. These are the death beans. And this is an interesting thing. I just filmed a video that will come out on Wednesday if you want to learn about these. It's an interesting thing to give away because I carry these with me as a way to remember death, to think about death, and to have a healthy relationship with death. They're the rosary pea, but eating one of these will kill you if you crush it up. So I don't have this here as a way of saying like anybody should eat these. They're a plant that I love, just like all other plants. This is a tender thing to give away because I call them the death beans, and because society, has so many judgments, and they would be like, how can you give away death beans? Like someone could eat those. But I am an adult, and whoever receives these is an adult, and they are also just a nice rattle. I really enjoy them. It's like the death rattle though. So, but a happy, embracing the relationship with death. So does this call to anybody? All right, nice. I feel like I know something about you already.
I love your time too.
Okay. Oh, sweet. Glad you're here, my friend. I think it's time to give away this sign. This sign was made by a woman named Ruth in Sea Ranch, California, not too long after I crossed over from Oregon. And this says, walking Canada to LA, each step a greeting to Mother Earth. So I would love if somebody would find joy in having this maybe hung up in their house or something like that. Does anybody? Oh, Shaheen, sweet.
Absolutely.
Oh, I get to see it there.
Yeah, you do.
Nice.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, enjoy my friend.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I will not have a way of telling the time, and that's going to be an opportunity to deepen my connection with the sun and with more of the flow of the earth. So this here is the clock, which according to this, it's 4:11. It's so ironic because I was just about to ask anybody if they knew what time it is, and then I have this here in my hand. So this is how I like to have my clock, because it dulls the sound of the tick. And so if anyone doesn't like ticking, this is an ideal clock for that. And if you had pockets, it could go in your pocket. Would this little clock bring anyone joy or meaning? Yeah, sweet. Second gift for you. Sweet. All right, so now this is a possession I've had for about 4 years. I never expected to have it for this long. It's a headlamp. It's got a charger in the back. You just plug it in. It's got a little USB. So does anybody not have a headlamp who would find joy in this headlamp? All right, there you are. Enjoy, my friend. My mom this hat, this cowl, and this sweater. And when she asked for it, I was like, There was a small part of me that wanted to say no, because then I'd still have sort of an attachment to the items. But I thought about it, I was like, no, I can detach from it fully and have it be my mom's joy, knowing that it is hers. And the concern would be, some people would say, oh, you gave it to your mom so you can get it back later. And I said, release that. It doesn't matter if people think that. I'm giving it to my mom because she requested it. And so I'm excited that she's so excited to get to wear some of these clothes that I've had with me for the last year or so. Yes, I've enjoyed them thoroughly. Okay, my notebook. So this is a relatively new notebook because I go through my notebooks. Then my money's in here. I'm going to take that out of here. All right, my goal is to be possessionless in 10 minutes because it's starting to get chilly and we're losing some light. So this is the notebook and the pen, and so I am not going to have a notebook and a pen. And one of the most challenging things in this experiment is not having the ability to write. I'm so used to writing, and I'm not sure how I'm going to navigate that yet, because if I write on paper, it's like I kind of own that paper. Whereas if I do videos and I share a message through videos, that goes out and I don't own anything. In Vipassana meditation, you don't read or write or at all, except that I found a pen in my last Vipassana and I used the back of the toilet paper rolls to start writing on there. So just gives you a window, like I really like to write. So this is going to be one of the challenges. Would anyone take? Yeah? All right, sweet. There you are,
I love journaling.
Appreciate
what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. There's a few notes left in there that you get to enjoy. Now what we have here This is my shawl. And this is one of the hardest things to let go. I love this thing. It's great for wearing. Oh yeah, hard to let go of this. I absolutely love this. It's made with linen and then dyed with weld and indigo. So who would find great joy in...
Oh, really? Yay.
All right, I get to put it on you.
Oh, love that. Thank you.
Enjoy. Was anybody at the gathering at Silver Lake from before I left? This is the other half of that pillow where we threw the feathers up.
Are you gonna do it again?
No. I would say we don't have time, but that would be nice. But this is that pillow, and this is the pillow cover is wool dyed with weld. Would anyone like this pillow?
There you are, my friend.
Oh, sweet. Enjoy it. Oh my gosh. Now these shorts are more of a memento than something to actually wear, but these got me here. And boy, I have sewed them up so many times, and I would just love to hang these up, put them in a frame. Do these shorts call to anyone?
You can use them to patch something else up.
Or you could patch, and you could remove these patches too. And then eventually these are totally compostable too. So the buttons on here are wood, and then this is all cotton dyed with black walnut. So you can also compost these as well. Would anyone find some real joy in them? Yeah? All right, goodbye to these shorts.
Thank you.
Enjoy them.
Thanks, man.
So we're getting close here. I have my long sleeve shirt, which was a lot greener when I started this trip. And I have, this one. Short sleeve shirt. This was dyed with black walnut, then indigo, and then weld. And so, yes. Does this long sleeve call to anybody? Oh yeah. I like that on you. Thanks for taking that. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna go with who hasn't gotten anything yet. All right.
Thank you.
Enjoy those. Stay warm and cozy.
Thank you.
Oh man, and this shirt. This was my first homemade, natural fiber, naturally dyed shirt. So,
I'll take your shirt.
all right. Oh yeah. You want to put it on? Yeah, right on. Thank you very much, man. This is a couple of reusable grocery bags. This one's dyed with black walnut from my mom's front yard. This one is linen. I sewed this on this trip up. Actually, I sewed this on the second day of the trip. And this one I've had with me for a couple of years. So would anyone like to make a commitment to always using reusable bags? All right. You want this one?
One.
All right,
Yeah.
sweet.
Because I use them all the time. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, and how about this bag? Does this one call to anyone? All right, sweet.
Thank you.
There you are, my friend. It had no hole until just a couple days ago. This is my towel, and you could also cut it up and use it as rags. And this was dyed with black walnut, and this is linen. Does this towel call to anyone? Yes.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
And just a little black walnut, little baggie. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I can sew it.
All right. Here, put this little jade rock in there. Someone just gave me that like 5 miles ago.
Oh my
I was
gosh,
like-
thank you.
Okay, so we are down to just a few items. These are the wool socks. Line them up, my friend.
Thank you, Robin.
Okay, so I obviously am not going to need a backpack because I'm not going to have any stuff to put in it for the next 3 months. In here I have my tent, sleeping mat, and I have my sleeping bag. That's the experiment of complete non-ownership. Part of the experiment of non-ownership is shedding my own identity. There's an identity behind this sleeping bag. And part of owning absolutely nothing is that I won't have any strong identity to it. Like, these clothes are an identity. And if I'm just wearing other clothes that somebody else lent to me, and I'm only borrowing anything for a maximum of 10 days so that I can't build an identity around it. So that's a big part of the practice of non-ownership, is stepping away from my identity. This is wool, it's wool inside, and it is cotton with beeswax on the outside. It's from a small company called Lucky Sheep in North Carolina. So does this sleeping bag call to anyone? Could anyone see themselves having many joyful nights camping with this? All right, my friend. Yes. Glad you'll enjoy it. Yeah. And I'll tell you some things about that to make it your most enjoyable. All right, right here. This is a comfy one, my friend. All right, and then the tent. So I'm not going to have a tent for the next few months. My plan is to do without. We don't have that many rainy days, so I won't have a tent. I've had this tent for a couple of years. Is there anybody that would like to do more camping, backpacking? All right, sweet. I've always had a plastic backpack. It's got cross straps that help to distribute the weight. It can be dialed in, and carrying less weight makes it more comfortable. As I shared, I won't have anything to put in the pack, so I won't need a pack. Does this pack call to anybody? All right, my friend. There you are. My computer. So this is actually just an old 2013 MacBook Air, and that's what I've been using for the last 10 years. This one I've only had for about 2 years. This is something that I always imagined being able to give someone here and feel this release of passing it off. But I was talking to my brother Levi, and he doesn't have a computer right now, so I'm gonna mail this to him, or Andrew's gonna mail it to him for me. Bring some meaning and purpose into his life. He hasn't had a computer for over a year, and so this is gonna help him to do some things that he would like to do. So that's for Levi. This is a simple one. Oranges, anyone? 2 oranges and a
I'd love the little one.
the little one. That's
Yeah.
a lime.
A lime, thank you.
Orange. Orange. Yeah. Now, for the next 3 months, I'm going to be living without money. That doesn't mean there won't be monetary transactions involved in my life. I have a team that I'm working with, and they're being paid. The way that I did that is there's a supporter who wanted to help me spread my message, and they are paying people directly to help me to share my message. So for the next 3 months, I'm living without money, and that's going to be a pretty radical experiment for me because I've never done that before. I've done shorter stints of days or weeks. And so the intention I'd like to set with this money, this is $221. I actually only had $201 just a couple hours ago, but someone gave me $20 on the way here. People, when they see you're walking from Canada to LA, it's people like to contribute, and this is the way that they do. So my intention for this is that if somebody knows of somebody here in Los Angeles who is experiencing homelessness or is struggling due to the fires, that they think this money could be used in a way that would really pick them up, really, add some joy and value to their life. I would love to give this to somebody in order to pay that forward to somebody in their life that they think would have a connection with. That would be you? All right, sweet. Please enjoy it. Yeah. All right, so I officially don't have a penny to my name. I have no bank account, no credit cards. I don't have money hidden anywhere else. That $221 was it. I have not a penny to my name. Interestingly enough, I have a cart, but I don't have anything really to put in this cart. Wait, I'm really, really close to owning nothing right now. Whoa, this is starting to become real. So the shoes are another thing that I'm gonna actually send off. And you know, I've been barefoot for a long time. I've been practicing being barefoot for over 13 years, and I've gone months without putting on shoes before. So, you know, no real stress. Like right now it's what, 50 degrees. It's chilly, my feet are chilly, but they're trained to be able to handle this. So, you know, fairly smooth. These shoes are my homemade walking shoes. I walked 1,000 miles from Canada to here on these, and the other 600 miles was barefoot. And I love these because this is, for me, an example of having broken free from Nike and Adidas and all the industrial shoes, to see that I could walk 1,600 miles on homemade natural fiber shoes and bare feet. That was kind of one of the few things that I really set out to test and that I wouldn't give up on in our connection to Earth that doesn't require modern technology. So that's what these represent. I probably resoled them. I put new soles in probably about 8 or so times, and they're just leather soles, and then with each sole that I was done with, I would compost it, bury it in the wood so it could return to the earth. So I'm doing the Rich Roll podcast in a couple weeks, and I'm gonna give these shoes to Rich Roll because I think that it'll be a good talking point for the podcast, and I think he'll take some real interest in these shoes. But Melissa, I'm gonna give these to you, and then you're gonna give them to Rich Roll, however you make that happen.
Sounds good.
Sweet. Thank you.
So happy for you.
It's not too often where you end up owning nothing and someone says, I'm so happy for you. Okay, so this is the walking cart. This made it all the way almost from Canada. I think 1,400 miles on this thing. And it's got some very customized Robin Greenfield elements to it. The wall handlebars that Shakira helped contribute to.
Wonderful.
Yeah, all right, the cart's yours, my friend. Goodbye to the cart. The shirts. This is the one that I've worn the most as of late, and dyed with indigo and weld, trying to make green, but it came out more blue. It's and then it's cotton. Yeah, this is the shirt for you. All right, there you are, my friend. All right. So, anyone feel called to these shorts? Taking my last pair of shorts. All right, my friend. And then, okay, so I guess at this point I officially own one thing. I mean, it doesn't feel quite real, but the only thing that I own is these long underwear. And so I'm gonna just go ahead and do this. You know, I recently looked up the legalities around being naked in public. And I was pleasantly surprised. I was pleasantly surprised to learn that in California it is not illegal to be naked in public. I was amazed. For me, the reason that it's important to discuss this is because, think about it. It's illegal to simply exist in our own bodies. If you're looking for a way to disconnect people from the earth, make it illegal to simply be a part of the earth. If you're looking for a way to create separation between one another, I think making it so that we have to put on our suits so we can't really see each other is a way that you can do that. Societies that actually embrace being naked have much less problems with sexual abuse. It's societies where we fear our own bodies that we have these problems. And so I think it's very important to embrace our bodies. Just as important as with that is, it's about a connection with ourselves. To be able to say, yeah, look, I have a body. I'm a whole and complete human being. So I think being naked is very important. I think it's very healing. For anybody who's a little more cautious around being naked, it makes it a little bit easier for others to be able to deal with. But I have no problem with being naked. I exist. I'm a part of this earth. I'm a naked human body. So on that note, who wants to, all right, I thought this was going to be, so can you come over here?
Truly honored.
So basically, I will be here for the next 3 months. I'll be here till February 5th. Then I'll be in my Vipassana for 5 weeks. Then I'll be back March 16th, and I'll be here till April 20th. This is where we'll be, right here in this spot. And so I don't need much. Like, you know, this experiment of non-ownership is a way for me to experiment with needing very little. That's the big idea here, is needing very little. I'm going to be here sharing and teaching, and I feel very confident that what I'm doing is valuable enough. 3 deep breaths together. All right. Thank you, friends.